Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to Nesby Patrons video where today I'm going to be making a custom monthly music review for Callmehehe for an act titled Xin Band with their song Love to Die. If we switch over to here, thank you very much Callmehehe for this request. I'm looking forward to listening through it. We've got a track that's 4.5 minutes long. I don't think I've heard Xin Band before, but we also have the lyrics for the song as well provided by Callmehehe, so we're going to look through that after we listen through and review the song. We're going to hear it from start to finish and, hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, damn. We got the lyrics coming straight away, dude. So is this basically the main musical motif, like the main melody for the song? It's very 80s, isn't it? I've seen a lot of music from the 80s and 90s. I mean, it's a great way to keep things into it. You can tell the guy can sing and the backing vocals are gorgeous as well. Nice pad effect on the sides. Nice bit of vocal fry at the end. Guys just sweeps through those notes really cleanly, doesn't he? An effortless vocal performance so far. Guy's got techniques sorted. Nice piano accompaniment here. Nice and accents to quarter notes in here, that's cool. Oh, and the drums are coming in now, that's nice. Nice gradual layering of this, we're not trying to throw everything at the listener at once. It's nice to see the actual musicians in the video as well, that's really cool. Everything's nice and present in the mix as well, nothing's missing or muddy or anything like that. Production's on point. Oh, that increasing intensity is welcome. And we've got the guitars coming in now. What don't we have at this point? Lovely segmentation between the verses and chorus. Give me an X-Japan vibe, you know what I mean? Oh, and there's lovely little lead guitar bit transitioning between the two halves of the chorus. Nice. Oh, lovely. Great finish there. And everything goes a little bit quiet, with the strings there. Great change of pace. Great dynamic range to this track as well. They haven't tried to overcompress or limit it. Nice little bit of violin going on with the guitar, and they show an actual string instrument there. That's pretty dope. Aside from the guitars and bass and stuff. And is that like a synth pad or like an electric keyboard or something like that? Because it sounds kind of dope. It does sound like it came a while ago though now, to be fair. Yeah, a very subtle little bit of clean guitar in the background as well, just a little bit. Oh, lovely. Because we're not just giving the notes to the listener, we've got a slow build there to kind of spread it across that bar and keep it sounding fresh. Doesn't sound like a particularly happy song, does it? Oh, that CGI is I mean, I'm sure that for the time, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but the time that it came out, that would have been absolutely ridiculous. That's cool, man. Again, I'm not familiar with the language or the story, so I don't know quite what the context is yet, but I'm excited to hear that. It'll be good to check out the lyrics after this. Again, we've got a similar intensity to the previous chorus there. Oh, lead guitar a bit? Oh, we're gonna do the chorus again. A second time, or a third time. No, I'm thinking, because there's like 2 halves, and then there's another 2 halves, I suppose. With the strings in the upper register here. Because it's quite an energetic chord progression. We're going between those 8 and looping them. There's a lot of angst in the overall coloration of it though, isn't there? Oh, that's slow. No, we're keeping the tempo, that's fine. And finishing that upper register. How pretty. Great way to do that. Very classy. Very classy exit there. Well done. Well done. Because I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was Xin Band, wasn't it? I hope I'm right. I hope I haven't completely messed that up. And going into the flames. I see. I see where we're headed with that. Because, yeah. I don't know when this was released. It would have been a while ago. It would have been a while ago. Just from the tone of the instruments in the mix, as well as the style of vocals, that kind of reverb was really popular in the, like, the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. Still happens nowadays, but like, again, like, it's giving me that kind of like kind of ex-Japanish kind of vibe there as well. But it's all good music. I will just quickly check out the lyrics, and then we'll be good to go. Figure out what the song's about. Chile do yawai. To love even in death, if you don't love vividly, you won't be happy. Well, that's within itself is fairly vivid, isn't it? Show the deepest emotions, only this way are confession sufficient. Real intense imagery, talking about the destruction of the universe, you'll still love each other, you know, the heart will still be there. Enjoy the present, don't be afraid of getting hurt once you open your heart. I think that's a beautiful sentiment there, you know, as long as there's nothing really toxic going on. Your hair will turn white, you'll be buried in the dirt, but the memory will not rot. Even coming to a dead end, you will still need to love. If it's not to the end of time, you won't be happy. Don't be afraid of your passion or love turning into a sea of flames. To love until it is boiling is even more spectacular. Excellent. This is a song telling someone, yo, our love is going to be intense and we're going to love each other until the end of time, and it's worth taking the risk in order for it to be true. Yeah, you know, that imagery again of the universe being destroyed, but you still having that memory there, or that heart being there. It's really romantic, and it's a really special song. I can understand why it's been recommended to me. It's a great band, you know. The vocal performance, that desperation, that intensity there, that passion, that unfiltered, pure passion coming from the singer is exactly what I needed when you're talking about this kind of stuff. Because if you don't commit to it emotionally, talking about all this kind of stuff about, you know, like, our hair grow old and stuff, and even when you die, it just comes across as a little bit of, it might come across as a little bit inauthentic, but that wasn't the case with Xin Band. They smashed it. The guy is a phenomenal singer. She had great vocal technique, comfortable within his range, and I've got nothing but love for the effort he put in here. I'm sure that it was something that really was a really special, meaningful song to them, and they did the topic justice as well as themselves justice here. You know, the structure of this track here, that, you know, verse, bridge, chorus kind of thing going on here a couple of times. I mean, it's a 4.5 minute track, so I understand why we didn't have a dedicated solo section or anything like that, despite the fact we obviously could shred, and I did hear the start of a shred solo. I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get like a longer interlude there. But at the same time, I think that it was a focal-oriented song telling a story, and while the musicianship is nonetheless there with the other instrumentalists as well, it was more about the journey you were going on rather than showing how well they could play the fretboard, you know? The drums, the bass guitar, you know, both in the rhythm and lead sections were accompanying each other really nicely. There was a great sort of chemistry there. And it felt like everyone knew what they were doing. It was a tight performance, you know, there wasn't a note out of place. I get the impression just by listening to these guys for the first time that they're a band that really knows what they're doing, and I can completely understand why they are so popular. Again, I'm not sure when this was released. It would be cool to see these guys live, to hear them in their unfiltered form, you know. It was a cool music video as well. It was creative. I think I understand more of why this track is like it is now, why the video was shot while it was. But, you know, the performances were great, interesting chord progressions there. There were some drum fills which helped sort of separate things. The bass was nice and supportive as a ground bed for everything else. And the vocals harmonized on top with everything, despite the points of tension there. Completely. I love how, you know, those backing vocals on the side and the ones in the center, I love how they came back into the chorus sections but were instantiated at the beginning of it. I think it was nice to have that vocal melody at the start too. You just don't really get people cutting to the chase as much anymore as they used to, like that. Like, not even a moment's hesitation, just boom, that catchy melody. You want the context? Listen through the rest of the song. So that was cool. I had a good time with that. Additionally, with this track, you know, the production, the recording, mixing, mastering was sensational. It did sound like, again, like something that was recorded in the 80s and 90s, and it had that lovely reverb tail to it, very airy with those old school synthesizers and everything like that, those electric keyboards. The tone of the guitars was absolutely incredible. I love how they sounded. You know, there's a lovely clarity of them in the mix. The bass and the drums as well were there as well. I didn't really hear the bass so much, but the drums definitely, they had a doof doof kind of short attack on the compressed parts of the kit. And you could hear all the different elements reasonably clearly. I could hear the bass, it just wasn't obviously discernible. I think the bass was mostly sticking to those root notes. And then finally, you know, the limiting compression was great as well. It was nice and loud without pumping too much, as per the quieter sections where they had the violin on the guitar parts and everything. That's just a matter of the post-production. Just been completely onto it, the studio side, totally nailing it. And I think as a listener, you need to have those peaks and troughs, those quiet and loud bits in there. And I'm really proud of Xin Band for what they were able to do with this. But that was effectively my SP Patrons video for Xin Band Love to Die. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show Xin Band some love via their various social medias. And I assume they're on YouTube. If not, they'll be elsewhere. And stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as either hell more than ever with all the great stuff going on in the world. And I will catch you next SP Patrons video. Spiderhands out.